Started. It kicked off here.
Good deal.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to our special Wednesday training crypto KGS community with myself and Mr. Jeris Coleman. Last week, we had a special guest on. We had Albert Thomas, who was on here and shared some golden nuggets. And I want you guys to keep Albert and his family in your prayers. Yesterday, they lost their grandson named Solomon. So keep him and it's having repercussions within the whole family. He's having issues with his father is now having chest pains and is being hospitalized, and just a lot of storms hit all of us at different points in our lives. And here's one thing that I told him, and I know that he's not the only one that goes through issues and goes through things in life. But one of the things we have to remember, especially the older that you get, that you've gone through issues and storms and things in the past. And when you go through something now, always remember that somehow you survived all of the problems you've ever had in your life to still be here and alive today. Now, I don't want to put my faith or religion on anybody, but thanks to God or whoever it is that you believe in, got you through whatever those problems and issues were. And that you should have no doubt that the storm you're going through today, that you're not going to get through this as well. Sometimes, and me and Jeris had this talk last week, sometimes when a storm happens, there's nothing you can do in the moment that's going to change things. You got to be careful about making a permanent decision to temporary problems. Sometimes the best thing you can do is ride it out and have faith and belief that you will come out at the other end of the tunnel and that you will come out of that valley. The sun will be shining again and you will move forward. The world will continue to turn. Every time the sun sets, know that the sun's going to rise. It's like clockwork. Life is like that. So for Albert, I'm putting him, his family in prayers. There's nothing like the loss of a loved one. Karen Parsons lost her son unexpectedly a couple of months ago. These things happen in life. They're unexpected. We're not prepared for it, but rest assured that you will survive it. You will get through it, and that you're not alone. So as a KGX community, I just want to extend that out to Albert, his family, and to the rest of you and all of you that may be going through something during this time around Christmas. It's always around Christmas. Things seem to want to go haywire. And you got to understand that's by design. The enemy knows this time of the season. It knows that everybody's focus is not just on Christmas, but the reason why Christmas is here. For those of you that celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and whatever you believe. Like, again, I don't want to put religion on anybody, but the enemy works overtime during this season to make sure that you're not going to have a good season. So be strong, be faithful, be prayerful, be mindful, help others, give to others, and the sun will shine on the other side. All right. So saying all of that, head in, get things started. We're going to start off by looking at the charts. You should be able to see my screen. And this morning I did an early morning crypto talk, and the market cap value, what was it at? 124 billion this morning. So you guys have your mics open. Please mute your mics until if you got to say something or you want to interrupt and have a question. So since then, the market's lost about $3 billion. BTC dominance has been back above 54%, which meant that some of the coins that were taken out of the altcoins and then put into Bitcoin. So whatever you see that happen, the other coins dropped, and more than Bitcoin. We've got here, Bitcoin Cash is still having an unbelievable run over the last 24 hours. 24 hours ago, it was like less than $100. Now it's up $132, more than 24 hours ago. It was like down to $80, 88, 89 bucks. Bitcoin SV also has a little bit of a rise. But the market is a little bit down since this morning. It's on a downturn, which meant Those of you who saw me do a live trade this morning, I bet wrong. I should have. Remember, I was about to make that change and I didn't. I should have hit the cancel button. But either ways, I'll write it out, and we're going to show that in a second here. Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash is the biggest gainer so far. We'll see how that looks tomorrow morning as Asia and Europe is now starting to wake up. Monocoin, Stratus, Lisk, Waves, top 20 is up there. Bitcoin SV. What about the worst performers? We've got anything that's important here. Surprised by Gemini Dollar. Gemini Dollar, that is a stable coin that's down 9%, but it's still holding price at that dollar range. Let's see, EOS had a major run. Now it's down -4%. It had a big run the last 24 hours. See anything other than that? Nah, pretty much on a downward trend. When we look at, I shared also for those of you that were not on Crypto Talk this morning, I've averaged right now, I've been doing my day trading and with my new strategy, and the strategy is set up so that I can set a buy or sell order and walk away, not be looking at the chart all doggone day. And my goal is to just reach at least 2% a day. That's my goal. So the last couple of days, day before yesterday, I did 3.79% on my money. Hold on. That's LaShayna came on here with all that noise. The other day I did 3.79%. Yesterday I did 2.46%. So I'm up 6.25% so far. Today I only executed one trade that did not complete itself. And why is that Boucher calling me right now? We're doing the live. Let me let her know that. But I did not. Just to show you an example here. Give me a second, because I like to show this. Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure. Did I go off or something? Did I lose connection?
No, we hear you.
All right, good. Doing live crypto with Jeris right now. www.kgxglobal.info. All right. So showing you this screen, just to show you an example. Remember the the golden rule. You want to buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Oh, wait. When did this happen? This just took place? Oh, no, it's still there. Oh, my bad. All right. So if you see here, I bought at 35.14. I sold at 35.75. I bought at 37.39. I sold at 37.66. I bought at 37.66 again. I bought right back into it. That was
Brandon,
8 hours that passed since I did that. Yes, sir.
Are you trading against USDT?
Yes, BTC and USDT.
Okay, so you are retaining your profits.
Yes, that's why I'm doing it that way.
Oh no,
Now,
awesome, but I wasn't sure if you're doing like BTC to another different coin like Ethereum.
Now I talked about that this morning, that I am going to start doing that, because even though Bitcoin this morning it raised 8% over the last 24 hours, the other coins were up by 12%, 20%, 30%. So I actually would have. Hold on one second. Some new people came on. Let me mute them out. Let me mute. I just muted everybody. So Jeris, you can unmute yourself again. But I would have made more money by trading against the other coins if I was paying attention. But since I'm doing it trade and walk away, I know that I'm safe with USDT. I'm not going to lose my value if I execute a sell order and things go haywire in the Bitcoin market. But the whole point is you buy low, bought in at 37.39, sold at 37.66, bought back in. What's that time difference? Yeah, 7 hours went by. The market had went up, and then it came back down. It went all the way up to 39.18. and then it came down. So I bought back in again at 37.66, and I put a sell order in at 4,000. Why did I do that? I was betting big because at the time the market was geared up like it is right now. It was pointed up. We read an article that saying that the squeeze was between 3,700 and 4,200 by looking at the buy and the sell wall. So here we got about 4,200 right there, and then we've got here 3,700 right there. So this is where it's going to hit that wall, and then it's going to come right back down. So I bet big. I said, okay, I'm gonna put it in there for 4,000, which should get me maybe 8 to 10% on my money. I just thought it was going to happen today, and it didn't. The reverse happened. It went down. So if we look at the last 24 hours,
I wonder if it had anything to do with the Bitcoin consolidation, the futures consolidation.
I think so. You remember that came out and people were talking about that. So all of a sudden what happened was people started to sell. And look at this. See this drop right here? Damn.
Yeah,
and this is when it was.
And if you notice too, like you're showing right there, if you noticed, because I saw that, and with it being consolidated, you get, I think that's today, correct?
I mean, this is just this morning. Now, Jeris, check this out. I did everything right because look at this. This morning, we don't see all of this here is hindsight. We didn't see any of this. So this morning is squeezed. We see the squeeze right here. And then this is bouncing around above the middle Bollinger bar, and then this trigger looked like it was going to go up. And this trigger looked like it was going up. See that? That's a falsity, right? That could trip people up. So I bet it was going to do this and at least get up to where this was at the height. It didn't. And it did the opposite. All there. And then it kept doing that all day. And so now we see it starting to come back up again. So how high and how long, remains to be seen. So I'm gonna hold that sell order at 4,000 because if I sell right now, I'm gonna take a loss, and I don't want to take a loss. And check this out, Jeris. I've been growing this in the last couple of days from $380. It got down to up to 445. So what's important is the percentages. Now we're going to bring on next week Bethany and her husband. I got to ask them first, but they executed like a 12% trade. So if they were trading with $10,000, that was $1,200 they would have made in 24 hours on one trade. But I'm gonna turn it over to you, Jez. You got any comments or anything about that?
Said they traded on
I'm gonna stop screen share.
You traded on 10,000. They traded on 10,000.
No, so if they did trade on 10, I don't know how much they traded with. I don't want to. They can volunteer that information. I just know the percentage they made, and they made 12%. So if they were trading with $10,000, 10%, that's $1,200 they would have made on one trade.
Let's bounce back and forth on this one. Anybody can ask questions and jump in. So like just when you're talking about like you're making 2 to 3 or 4% each day. Now right now you're kind of in a holding pattern because you don't want to take a loss, and that's the difference with this crypto market, and you depends on how low you want it to go. But the difference with your case, whatever you're trading with, if it's a low number, I mean, where it varies for everybody. So if you're trading on $100 versus like 2 Bitcoin, which would be about 7,000, or like you said, the 10,000, which is like 2.5 Bitcoin, almost really 3 Bitcoin virtually. That's where the difference comes in on many different levels that you already know. It comes in on the percentage. Obviously 2%. Okay, well, 2% on what? So 2% on $100, 2%, which is still profit. 2% on, or 10%, 2%, 10%, whatever percent on 1 full Bitcoin. So I see where your strategy, where you're going with this, Brandon. You're trying to get to you're trying to build up to 10,000, and I know what you're trying to do. Once you have a secure 10,000, you are going to trade 10,000 like it is your career.
Yeah, that's my slush fund. I'm never going to pull that 10,000 out. I'm only going to pull out the profit from it. And if I can average $200 a day.
The 10,000 doesn't even exist to you. It's just a balance to be able to get profit out. Am I right? That's right.
And then what if I get it to 20,000? Remember what we were taught. don't trade more than 10,000, but I put 10,000 on Binance and I have 10,000 on Poloniex, and I start executing trades that way. Or if I still use Poloniex, I'll just do 10,000 trade limits, have two of them going at the same time.
Yeah.
Because anything more, you start to, let me tell you what else I figured it out. And I want your opinion on this. Remember because this is a new strategy I'm doing here by following the whales. And remember how I found this 50 Bitcoin buy order, 50 Bitcoin sell order. I figured something out here. At first, I thought it was an individual. Then I ruled that out, and I realized it's a bot. But here's my only problem. This number never changes, and that's impossible, because when you have an order going this high, once it reaches its target number and the sell or buy starts to hit, it doesn't do it all at once. It does it in pieces. And I showed everybody this morning, for example, look at mine. See, this was one buy order, but it did it in pieces, and one sell order, and it did it in pieces. Why is it that this number never changes from 50 to 50? And why is it that it is always adjusting? So right now it's got a buy order at 37.21, but when this price starts to move, it always sits in between a $40 range between both of them. I have another theory now. I don't know how accurate this is, but I have a theory that it might be an amount controlled by Poloniex themselves. They've got that in there, and they know people are looking at this, and it's almost a sort of manipulation because it's pushing the market a certain way on the Poloniex side. I don't know if all the exchanges are doing that, but look at this. 37.73 is a sell order. 37.21 is a buy order. Now that's only 10 points different. That's 73. Yeah, that's 40 points. Always 40 points, no matter what the price of Bitcoin is. And it never executes. It's always constantly doing a buy, cancel on this deal. So what do you think about that?
It's a bot.
Yeah, you think that it's some sort of manipulation going on?
Of course. I mean, look what's happened already with the market up until this point. I mean, right now you got people that have watched what the futures has done, and they're capitalizing on, right now we got a market that's purely driven by emotions. I mean, that's even the Forex market. So what you're showing there is you got people that know how to move this money, and they know how to manipulate the emotions of people through obviously the movement of, bigger balances and obviously obviously bigger money coming in and coming out, and they can take advantage of it. So of course there's manipulation. I 100% believe that and agree with you on it.
Absolutely. Well, one thing that knowing that I started doing as well now is I'm looking at some of the other, like this one right here, 25 Bitcoin. That's $91,000 for a buy order, and seeing if I see anything equivalent over here, and I don't. So I know that is an individual or a whale that's doing something. I see two of them in here. Look at this, 25 Bitcoin there, 25 Bitcoin there. It could be the same individual, but I know how to read this a little better now doing that. But my whole point in making that difference, percentage-wise, again, if I was trading with $10,000, I would have made about $600 this week already. Now, what if, like I was doing a strategy with Bethany and Michael, if they average, 4 or 5%, let's say 6 to 10% a week, that's still $600 to $1,000 a week on their own money just by doing 1 or 2 trades a day. What if you executed 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 because you're doing micro trades? What if you're doing 15 to 20%, 30% a week? That's why this education is so important. So on that,
it's more than possible. And see, show Brandon, this is where, everybody, obviously this is for you guys as we're dialoguing together. When you talk about basic stock and trades, and most people think when they see Bitcoin or any investment opportunity, and they think that stocks or cryptocurrencies, whatever it is, should always parabolically be going up. And if it's not going up, then it's a scam. And I know you know where I'm going with this already, Brandon. So the reality is that, and I'm going to show this on my screen here just in a second. Just says Brandon.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop share mine, and you can take it over.
Cool. Okay. Yep. Let's see here. I'm gonna go into kind of showing Coinigy. Let's see if you can see my screen. Brandon, can you see my screen?
Yep. You're up. You're good.
What do you see? You see the you see the
see the graphs.
Yeah, hold on. Let me let my hold on a second. Sorry about that.
I like that, Bethany. Learning to rinse and wash. That's right. You guys are putting it in action. Hey, Bethany, let me know if it's okay. We want to have you and Michael on next Wednesday. Wait, hold up. Is that Christmas? Christmas is what, Tuesday? Should we do something next Wednesday? What do you think, Jeris?
I don't
That's
think
the day after Christmas?
I don't know.
Yeah. Nah, let's take that off.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I gotta look at the calendar again for the rest of this year. But go ahead, sir. It's all yours.
Yeah. So like take a look. Okay. So this is Coinigy, which I'm going to go into kind of how to the basics of how to set it up. Of course, I'm going to create videos on this because it's going to take more than just a showing. So this is going to be an ongoing process, how to plug everything in. But Brandon's showing you, as you guys have been seeing on his Facebook lives, and he's trading out of one exchange. What Coinigy is just an interface, basically a easier way for you to look at the same thing Brandon's showing here on trading. Well, this is another exchange, Cryptopia, which some of you may be familiar with, some of you are not if you're newer to it. But all in all, when we're looking at this, the graphs of this is USD to BTC. This is actually the pattern. You can see it. Everything Brandon shows on his lives. It's the price right now. The price is going at 37.45. So we're looking at the price from where it's been in the past to where it's going in the future. The volatility is where profits are. So again, I'm of course, this is not going to be able to give you full crash course how to set up Coinigy and how to go. It's just, this is not, but I'm just giving you guys an idea, some of the tools I like inside of Coinigy and why I like it. So for instance, this particular screen here, I'm showing like this is over a hour chart, or really a day chart. And take a look at where the price was here. This was at 32. This Bitcoin was at 32.30 to now $500 later. And how much that's 20%. That's a 20% increase. So Bethany must have gotten 12% out of that 20% hike. Had to have, Brandon.
Yep. I think that's where you did it. Yeah.
There's no. I mean, to have a clean run like that, like let's just. I mean, it could have been anywhere in there, but let's say that's 12%. So like, okay, that's 12.5. Okay, that's about 12%. So that's 12%. It could have been anywhere in there. Anywhere.
Now, see, I could have done the same thing, but I had mine set on a certain sell amount, and I walked away. If I was looking at the chart and recognizing that the thing was going to keep going up almost $200 more, I could have canceled mine and then waited till it hit the top and then sold. And instead of getting 1.7%, I would have got 8 or 9%.
But here, okay, man, this is all good stuff, Brandon, and this is stuff that we live and learn from. You got this already. You got to take your emotions out of the equation, and that's where again where like the bot doesn't have an emotion, so the bot is always going to not use emotion to do the trading, but it's obviously going to find algorithms and the best. So that's the difference, as you already know, between a human trader versus, because we're looking at it and we're looking at the profits and then losses, and the losses we know are like, no, we can't, so. Anyways.
Well, I told the team this morning, I said that, I'm not upset because I achieved my goal. That's the goal I set. So even though I only made 1.7%, I made a profit still. it could have easily went the other way.
Complete.
Take your profit.
Yeah, no, and you got to be happy with, you got to be happy with 1%. Some people will go, well, man, I want 1%. Here's the reality too. So let's go back to, all right. I'm gonna use prime example. So, okay, so ETN. I always use these old examples, but I think they're beneficial. So I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna compare it to BTC. So let's do 1 day, 1 year chart. That's way too close. Shorten this span. Bear with me a second here. All right, so this is a coin of many that I've invested into in the past, and I'm actually rebuying it again. This is Electronium. So let's take a look at this and doing an old school analysis on that. So,
and Jeris, when you're finished with this, let's go back because the people don't know what they're looking at right now.
Yeah.
So explain to them what Coinigy is, its use, and how to sign up with it.
That's really good. Absolutely, for sure. And I know I'm just showing the graphs and what to do, and that's why I said I'm going to do the best I can to break that part down. Of course, this is not. I can't break all because there's so many moving components to it. It all can't be understood in one setting. That's why I need to create a training course on this, and probably start doing some kind of live random training throughout the week, probably whenever I get a chance on this. So, but what I'm showing is a year-to-date history going back. So looking at when the coin first hit the market, let's go back. This is when the coin first hit the market. Man, that was a big drop. Holy cow. Sheesh. It was like, you could see this big, that big.
And you know what? That's why I'm glad that green wasn't released last month. Because that's exactly what happened to green.
I want you guys
That's exactly what would have happened.
You guys understand look at, I want you guys to know this. And this is going to happen no matter what. So when people say, I want my green wallets, Brandon, what's going to happen is people are going to get their green wallets and they're going to get their coins and they're going to dump.
Yeah, and the people that's not, they're not educated on this and don't understand that why it wouldn't have dropped. They're going to start screaming bloody murder and say they got scammed. They don't understand what the market just lost $200 billion. All coins were affected. Nobody got left out. Now, the benefit is getting, and I'm just thinking if I was in green, if I was in their shoes, because everybody wants an update now. Yeah. If I was in their shoes, I would not put it on the exchange until we start to see significant volume come back into the space.
It's almost
maybe
they're almost protecting us.
February or so.
Yeah, they're almost.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, you know what? They don't care about us. They're really protecting themselves, so
True.
they got the most to lose because they own the most coins. But you want it to hit the reason why we made so much money off Electronium and all those other ICOs back in 2017 is because Bitcoin was on a rise from 5,000 to 20,000 in like 7 weeks. And during that time, we all made a killing. But most people had no idea what do you do when the market goes down. And they don't realize you can make more money with the market going down than you can with it going up.
Let me tell you, it's so funny because I go to a chiropractor every day. Every week. And I was at my chiropractor's and he does investing. And he's talking about Bitcoin. He's like, he knows I do Bitcoin. He's like, well, hope Bitcoin goes up for you soon. And I said to him, you know what? Yeah, it's down. The market's down, but it's down in the Forex market or every other market. But I said, this is the best time. He's like, why? Well, he knew why. But I said, dude, this is the best time. Because he's kind of on the fence. He doesn't really believe in it. He understands blockchain. He still doesn't believe it'll be here long term. I'm not here to convince him or anybody. But I said, you already know the blockchain. And he's like, yeah, I know you're right. But I told him, I said, here's the deal. This is the best market right now. Brandon, I think you're on the same tool of thought with me. Let's go to coins, and then I'll break down Coinigy.
Well, I'll tell you, like I was visiting my grandmother today with my dad, and my dad asked, my friends are telling me that this Bitcoin thing crashed. Are you okay? And I'm like, Dad, I made 6% on my money this week. And he's like, what? I said, the price of Bitcoin doesn't matter. When you're educated in this space, you know what to do, no matter what the price of Bitcoin is. And that's what we're teaching today. And you know what? Talking with you, I kind of forget that we're on an open mic right now.
This is cool. Go ahead. I mean, I want people to see the dialogue between us. But no, what were you going to say? Finish that thought. What were you going to say?
Well, I want you to definitely, because we've been talking for 2 weeks now about you using Coinigy and what it's used for. So I definitely want to get back to that basics and them knowing after you finish here, show them, what is Coinigy? What's the value of it? How to sign up? Go back to log. You don't have to log out because you're going to have to put in all your info to log back in, but just show what the process takes of creating a Coinigy account. And then where they would go to connect their other accounts to it, like their Bittrex, their Binance, their Coin, all the others.
Yeah, I can do it. I'll definitely stay on track again, and that's going to still take me because, Ken, you don't want, for the sake of time, we don't want to keep repeating. I mean, I could spend
right.
10 hours repeating because everybody's got different learning curves, and so I definitely need to, video does need to be created on that basics 101. So I will definitely go
right.
through that. Right. All I was going to show here, just in the low coins of the market stuff you go over, but before I go into the Coinigy thing is that right now with the coin market so completely low, I personally hope that this market stays. Just my honest opinion, yeah, it's hurt me. This market has completely hurt my pocketbook, my income. How I completely admit that, and there's no shame in the game there. But I'm actually happy at the same time because I lost quite a bit of money with Electronium, and I realized, you know what? Now it's time to go back in and buy coins like Electronium, PoonDX, which is 5 cents. I mean, this is the time to go in. This is like less than half of a cent. 6 months, a year from now, when these coins like PoonDX and crypto or Electronium, these coins that are $1, these coins that are half of a cent, these coins that are 1 cent, that are in the top 100 coins that have proof of work and good backing and all this other stuff, proof of concept, proof of electricity, whatever the case it may be. These coins that are 3 cents, like Tron, it's 1 cent. These coins will eventually be 10 and 15 and 20 and 30 cents. So I can by default, exactly, because of the dominance of Bitcoin going up. So here's reality, and driving home this as I close out and move on, is that this is, to me, the best time in history to be in this space right now, low at its lowest tide. And I hope that the lowest tide stays this way. Personally, on my outside stuff that I'm doing to make, bring in profit so I can keep buying up as much of the lowest coins as possible, because when the coin market grows and rises, my investments in these coins will grow, because $100 the other day I bought $300 worth of Electronium again, and I'm buying more, a little more. I'm going to start buying more like PoonDX every week. I'm just buying and holding. This is the time to buy and hold, as we say. And guess what? I'm not caring I don't care in a buy hold method. I don't really care if it goes. I made $70 since I put my, the $300 I bought. It was at 6 or 5, half of a cent. I don't really care if it goes down or up right now. I want it to go up, but I really don't care if I lose or gain money, because I'm not trying to trade like Brandon's doing on micro. So as we break it down more and more, Brandon's doing on his live. I'm not trying to micro trade on a hold method. I'm just trying to buy low and wait till it goes. I'm looking, it's like a time capsule. I'm buying 2-3 years from now or 6 months from now. It reaches, I wouldn't even say a desired amount, but it reaches a stability amount. And my method of continually buying 100 or so here and there, that $100 bought me at the time I bought Electronium, I bought with the $300, I bought 40,000 coins. So I'm gonna keep buying more. So if I were to keep, and I think I showed this last week, if I were to, once this coin gets to 10 cents, the $300 wouldn't even buy, if I'm lucky, 2,000 or 4,000 coins. Right now,
yeah, it's not going to make a difference.
No, it's not going to make a difference. But I could have bought it cheap, and that's where most of us are going to miss out, because we're like, it's too low. I'm not going to buy that right now. That's why I keep making the statement I posted some time ago. People that are, the people that are not educated, they buy when things are high, because that's when they see the value in it. But wealthy people, they buy, and the opportunist people, they buy when things are low, because they see the potential and they take the risk. And so anyways, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to break down Coinigy. So Coinigy, again, it's a interface. So you might want to take notes as best as you guys can. Eventually I will be creating a video series to break down the basics of this, but for the sake of this live presentation, keeping it within time scope, let's go into breaking this down as best we can, because this is a good way. This is the way I trade. I mean, now I still go into the exchanges, because sometimes there's issues with connecting the interfaces together. Like I'm having an issue with Cryptopia for some reason, connecting to being able to trade through this platform. But all in all, the goal of Coinigy is connecting all of your exchanges that you use, like Bittrex, Cryptopia. There's many. There's literally 500 or 600 exchanges that you can put your Bitcoin on and trade on. But I have my few, and the few that I use, Cryptopia is one of them. I love Bittrex. I do use Poloniex. Keep in mind, every exchange, take notes of this, every exchange that you connect, and I'm going to show you how to connect to Coinigy, you're going to have to put Bitcoin in that. But as you connect them to Coinigy and you plug it in, so you don't have to keep logging into Bittrex, keep in mind, you're going to have Bitcoin on each one of those exchanges. So you can't just trade. It's plugged in, and you got money in Bittrex thinking that it's going to trade on money that you're trying to trade on. And I'll make more sense of this, but trade just
stop right there one quick, Jeris.
Yeah.
I want to break some in layman's terms. Imagine having a PayPal account, and when money hits your PayPal account, then you want to fund, you might have 3 or 4 different bank accounts attached to it. So Coinigy is that one hub that you have your Bittrex, your Poloniex, your Binance, your Cryptopia, all your exchanges are connected to one source. So now you don't have to log into any of those other platforms to trade. You can log into Coinigy. But like Jeris said, you have to originally have coins on those exchanges so that you can trade in Coinigy. So now you don't have to try to learn about every single exchange and how the interfaces work. You have one central interface, and that's what Coinigy is used for. But this is a third-party system, and you have to pay for this. It's not a free account. You got to pay for it. So back to you, Jeris.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, this is I pay basically $20 a month for this service. There's a phone application to it, so this is not free. Everything we do, especially in business, it's not free. So this is a mid platform to use, again, a middleman platform to use and plug in. So you're not I want you guys to make this clear. My daughter is loud in the background, so if you hear her, I do apologize. But you do not have to be on or use Coinigy to trade. I want to make that 100% clear. You can trade, as Brandon shows in his morning trading, or you could trade on Coinigy. That doesn't cost, well, you're only paying for, your trades in and out on the exchange. So you don't have to, again, buy Coinigy to trade. I want to make that clear. Now, to set it up, you do get there is a free trial to set this up. Again, there's a mobile app. The mobile app looks just like, I don't use the mobile app, to be honest with you, as much. If I'm on the go, I would use the mobile app, but I still don't use the mobile app. I like sitting at the computer and placing my trade. So when you set up your account, you go to, it's quite simple. You simply put in your email, password, obviously fill out the information here, and then you're ready to get signed in. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. So let's pretend as if we're signed in. You don't want to make sure you set your security features, and that's on everything you do in cryptocurrency, in the crypto space. Make sure that check mark box. I kind of got ahead of myself. So make sure that check mark actually shows up once your account is established. Now you guys can't see this, and I wouldn't want you to see it anyways. Well, not necessarily, but I have what they call a Google Authenticator. Brandon, of course, that's in the training. But how many? I'm going to assume everybody knows what a Google Authenticator is. Brandon, can you?
In fact, is there anybody on here who does not know what a Google Authenticator is? Either speak up now or say something in the chat box, because we'll do a quick pause and I'll do a quick explanation of it, and then we'll move on. So is there anybody that does not know at this stage of the game what two-factor authentication is? All right, Barbara Brown doesn't know. Okay, here's what it is. It is another security feature beyond your password. It is an app that you must download onto your phone. So you just go to the Apple Store or the Play Store, and you want to select, look up Google Authenticator, download it. And here's another thing, because we've had one of our team members make this error as well. Put it on at least two devices. Now that I have my brand new, my crypto phone, I'm going to be using that for everything as well. So 2 devices, download the app. Once you have it download, when you're going through your sign up process, it's going to ask you to turn on two-factor authentication. When it does that, a QA code is going to pop up on your screen. You're going to go to your mobile app, open up the two-factor authenticator. It's going to click on add accounts. I think that's what it's called. It's just add. And then it's going to take a picture of that QR code. Use it on both devices. Take that picture on both devices because they're going to sync to each other. Now it's going to give you 6 digits, and I think it lasts 15 seconds or 30 seconds, and then it changes. So what Jeris is doing right now, go ahead and put it in there, Jeris, your own. And so it can't be copied, and nobody can hack it unless they have your Google Authenticator. So this is just another security feature that is 100% a must. Once you sign up with an exchange or anything dealing with crypto, always use 2FA. So did that make sense, or did anybody still need more information on what that is? And it is in our training. We have a video on this in our back office. So any other question about that? All right, good deal. So go ahead, Jeris.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So now that I'm logged in, okay, so before we go to all this graphs and stuff like that, that's all the exchanges, but you got to plug in. I mean, this is ultimately the interface. It's like, you're looking at the TV screen, but obviously now we're going to look at the parts that move the TV screen, if that makes sense. So the plug in the pieces that make the TV work. This is how we do it. So let's go to accounts. When you're in, you got your account set up. Go to accounts and add exchanges. So for instance, I have an account with Cryptopia, and this is one of about 400 or 500 exchanges out there. Some of you might ask the question, and feel free to ask the question here, but some of you might ask the question, well, do I need to get set up on all the exchanges? The answer is it's good to get on and set up and on in as many exchanges as you can. But keep in mind, every coin that is listed here on coinmarketcap.com, and let's be specific, there's 2,074 coins listed in creation as a cryptocurrency as we speak right now. So Bitcoin, where it makes its biggest debut of many, look at that, Brandon, another billion just as we talked is actually what it came in.
I see that. That's good. And look, it went to the altcoins because Bitcoin dominance went from 54% to 53.8.
Yeah. People are moving money. They're trading. So, but here's the thing, this is as many cryptocurrencies on now. There's hundreds of crypto exchanges out there, but Bitcoin's dominance, as Brandon just even mentioned there, Bitcoin is on every one of those 400 exchanges. Now, all these other coins, so Bitcoin being right here, necessarily, there's only a few other coins next to Bitcoin like Ethereum, Litecoin, and probably just a few Monero, Dash. I'm not going to label them all, but next to Bitcoin, there's only a few other exchange coins next to Bitcoin that are virtually, Bitcoin's on every exchange, but there's only a few other exchange coins that are on virtually every exchange alongside Bitcoin. And so that means let's take Electronium or any coin really for that matter. I'll tell Tron, number 10 coin on the number 10 on the market cap. We're just using this randomly. So look, I clicked Tron on coinmarketcap.com so I can prove my point, help you guys understand this even more. I clicked on markets, which is all the exchanges that it's listed on, and Tron is listed on quite a few. Remember, I said there's more than 400 exchanges out there, but Tron is
actually like 16,000 exchanges.
There's actually more than I guess. Wait, say it again.
16,000 markets.
That's ridiculous. See, no one can keep up. No, too much is actually is dangerous. Meaning, like it causes confusion. So we're trying to help deconfuse for you guys as much as possible. I say again, let's get set up on as many exchanges as you can, but there's really a few main ones. But look at this coin, for instance, is listed on, of those 16,000 Brandon just mentioned, 16,000. This is only on 164 of those exchanges. And what's the benefit of it being on the exchanges? Well, that means more money being pumped into that coin because certain exchanges are only maybe available in certain countries or certain areas. Some of the exchanges you and me may not even, well, most of them you and I probably may never see or know or put our money into because we don't trust it, or we don't know enough about it. And so with that being said, Bitcoin and all these, getting set up on a few major exchanges. Now, you guys are going to try to pattern what I do or what Brandon does, or whoever, somebody that's teaching, that's fine. I list, and I'm only going to do trades on, if it's doing day trading or micro trade, if you want to call it, Bitcoin's on all the exchanges, but so I can trade. My personal trade website of our exchange is Cryptopia. I don't know why I like it. I just like it. So again, remember, I don't have to use Coinigy. I can trade my money on the exchange directly. But the next one, my next favorite is Bittrex. Poloniex is another one. I don't have it set up inside here, but that's the next. I kind of look at Bittrex and Poloniex as kind of like competitive of the same, neck and neck as far as where they're at. They're at the top 20. They're in the top 20 of those 15,000 because they got the most money as a market in a market cap that contributes and plays a big part to how much money is in it. So when you could see all these exchanges just in this particular coin, you can see the volume, what's going in 24 hours, and also like what the price is. All this money comprised on all these exchanges make up the 1 cent, 1.5 cent that Tron is right now. That's the difference. Anyways, so whatever exchange you guys plug into this, you go to add exchange. So I'm going to stop there, making sure everybody's on the same page. Brandon, you want to make sure everybody's on the same page and ask that question? Let's see if there's questions out here. Look, yes, I do. I know. Yes, yes, and no. Okay, good. So I want to make sure everybody's on the same page as much as possible, at least. Is this making sense to most of you guys out there? You guys can tap in the chat box. Let us know if that's making sense. So I don't know. So Barbara says, I don't know. How new is?
No, she was talking about the authenticator. So you're good.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
So show them where to go to find their API key.
Okay. Now the API key, and it is that's gonna vary in every exchange, Brandon. So.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going into my Coinigy account, or my Cryptopia account. on a second, bear with me. I gotta look at my email for, and this is why me in a video.
Now, while you're doing that, someone also asked about Authy, which is AUTHY. That's another app you want to download because you've got, like, for mine, Gemini, Coinbase, and Uphold. When they look for their authenticator, it's not the Google authenticator, it's the Authy. So it's just AUTHY. That's another one you want to download, and have those downloaded and just be ready in case, that pops up. Don't wait till the last minute to say, oh, wow, it says I need this. That's what Jeris is saying. You want to.
Well, here's what happens. No, but here's what happens, Brandon, why they should get set up on all these, and you're right. It's because when people all of a sudden start jumping on the Bitcoin, the market really shoots back up. What happens is we get a toilet clog. Then the exchanges start to see a high demand, and then they start limiting. It's like a club bouncer. They start limiting how many people can register for an exchange. It's their way kind of controlling the market. And so if you already set up on low tide right now, you ain't got to worry about that stuff. You already have an account. Your account becomes, your account's always valuable. But remember that, Brandon, because big run up.
Yep.
Everybody, with all the exchanges, like when Bitcoin was at $20,000 a coin, most of those exchanges were actually like limiting. They were like, oh, we're only letting.
They wouldn't sign in, like Binance. You couldn't even get an account.
Nope.
And then you were on a waiting list for 2 weeks. Or you'll have instances like Coinbase that will freeze it. You can't even do freaking trades because they don't want things moving around. So you want to already be set so you don't miss the boat when it takes place. Like Cryptopia, we have a strong assumption that the green coin is going to be, when it comes on the exchange, that's the exchange is going to come on first before it goes to Binance. So you want to have a Cryptopia account already set up. Now, you also want to have practice on moving coins to Cryptopia, selling coins, and taking it off. So those steps. Green coin should not be the first coin you ever move on Cryptopia and do a buy or sell. Never. You start practicing now, whether it can be $5 or $10 or what have you, so you know what to do.
Correct. Okay. All right. So bear with me a second. Okay. Now I logged into my account. I'm going to get the API key, is what we originally were coming in here for, to plug in my account. Okay.
Right.
So now that I'm in the secure. Okay. I want you guys to be clear. I can show you this tutorial here, but this is going to look different for every exchange. It ain't going to look the exact same. I got to make that clear. That makes sense, Brandon? I mean, it's going to.
Yeah.
The API is going to be the same, but where it's listed, how it looks, the layout, it's different. So it's going to be different every exchange. And I can't. All I can say is go to the settings on every exchange that you go to and look at API key. And so the API key, you're going to naturally see it. You list it in the settings. Usually, I'm not going to show you guys it, and I'm not going to create another one because that's dangerous for me to do that.
Yeah, don't mess yours up.
No, and I'll mess up the one I currently already have. So if I hit that, in this setting, usually they're already there and it shows. For the sake of this, I'm not going to create another one, but you guys can get the point. Go to your settings. Once you grab it, I can show you this part is you're going to get two. You're going to get the API key and the secret key. So when you go and set up, when you get set up in Coinigy, you're going to go to accounts. You're going to go to add new exchanges. If, say, in this case, I'm going to set up Cryptopia, name it whatever you want. I'm going to say test. Then you add in, like you see here, API key. Put the API key in, whatever the API key is. And then the private key, whatever the private key is, because it'll all be listed in the exchange setting when you do find it. So what that is doing is giving permission for Coinigy to take control over your trades. Now, here's the next thing you got to understand. I can't show it because I would have to click this and create a key, and I don't want to do that. But from here, if I were to hit and create a new key, a next screen would pop up, and it would ask me, what kind of functions I want to give, like trading, do I want to get, what kind of power, and I would only give it power to trade, just like you see here, right, when it's finished, because you don't want to give withdrawal power, meaning somebody were to hack into your Coinigy account, and it could happen. Though I'm not trying to put fear there, but say it did happen, and you put withdrawal, you put trading, etc., and withdrawal. Well, now you're giving that person power to withdraw, and then they could put, you just don't want, only allow the trading side, show balance and trade. It's really 2 or 3 functions, and that's the only function you should give from your Coinigy side is letting you see balance and trade. That's it. Once these are plugged in, it'll look just like this. You got your names, title, Binance, Cryptopia, name it whatever you want to name. Now, whatever exchange you have listed, that's listed in here, whatever exchange that's really, it's only ones that are listed here currently right now. So, you can kind of go off of this. Find your exchange. Really, if you're going to use Coinigy, here's the exchanges that you can use. BTC, I mean, there's just a name, it looks like there's 20 of them. 20 of them aren't, if not, that you can actually plug in. Once that's done, all said and done, now you're in the game. You could give, well, let me go back real quick. Now, just check mark your boxes here, trading and active. So make sure that those are clicked. So now, once those are clicked, both exchange and interface are talking to one another. It's like you plugged in the TV to the wall. Now it's talking. Now, so if you're trying to figure out, well, how does Coinigy have power to trade? All you're doing is it's connecting, giving authorization to using a cleaner interface to go inside of, you gave it permission to go inside of whatever exchange to do the trades only and look at balances. That's it. That's all a Coinigy is done for. It's a cleaner interface. It's better without you having to keep logging into 100 exchanges. Keep in mind, again, there is a repeat. You have to have Bitcoin on every exchange that you plug in. So if you have Bitcoin, so out of all these exchanges I have on Coinigy, I have 4 listed here. If I don't have Bitcoin on, I don't care if it's at $5 or 10, if I don't have any Bitcoin, I can't make any trades. I know that, I'm sure everybody gets it, but again, I can't put money in one exchange thinking I can trade that money that's in one exchange on all of them through Coinigy. Just got to make that clear, because I know there's somebody out there going, oh, I thought I put money in this exchange. I'm trying to trade it on Coinigy. I know people are going to think that. You can't. You got to have money in that exchange, because all you're doing on Coinigy is trading using this interface without having, it's the key is you don't have to go and log in. Plus, it looks a lot better, and it's easier to read. To me, I find it easier to read looking at this chart and trading off of it. And you can do a whole lot more stuff, like, which I'll get into because we're getting late, and I'll do later on. But you can do a lot of stuff like this, like showing this is your percentage chart. I mean, there's a number of tools. I just don't have time. We'll do this in other segments. But really, this segment is really just to showing you guys how to go and plug in all of the factors. I don't think I should veer away from that on this particular one, because if I veer away, go any further, we're going to be on here for 10 hours. Hey, Brandon, you got any questions to that, or anybody got any questions?
No, that's good. And what a benefit is that you can switch between your exchanges directly from here without having to open up another window and go to those exchanges. So if you can, go and show now that once they've got their API keys in there and set up, how to switch to those accounts if they're going to do a trade.
Wait, repeat that question again.
So okay, so let's say they got their APIs accounts all set up in here. So now go to the trading screen, like they're going to do some trades, and how would they switch from Bittrex to Cryptopia to Binance?
Whatever exchange they have plugged in now. Good. Okay, perfect. So
right.
Once you have all your exchanges set up, so you guys see listed here are the exchanges, all the exchanges right on the sidebar tab here. So when you hit this Coinigy logo here, it'll take you back to this screen. So on the sidebar here, for instance, it's acronymed. But this one, CPA, you can kind of highlight over it. And if you're on a computer screen, you'll see what exchange that is. It'll drop down to what the full name is, Cryptopia. Let's see here. Where's Bittrex at? Bittrex. Poloniex is PLNX. What else? Where is my Bittrex friend at? Bittrex. Right here. Oh, we were already on Bittrex. So Bittrex.
Yep, you're on Bittrex.
So, okay. So as Brandon said, so like now that I got the accounts plugged in, as I showed you guys get that? Okay, going back, the exchanges. So for me now to start trading on them, you guys can see I'm on Bittrex. Here's all the coins inside of Bittrex that I can trade on as if I were inside of Bittrex now. So if I click to a different exchange, these are all the pairs USD. So now how do I hone in? I'm just trying to get to, hey, Brandon just said on this I'm watching Brandon Facebook Live, and he just is trading USDT, Bitcoin to USDT, or he's trading he's buying Electronium coins. Well, then get the acronym. Electronium. As you guys start to learn this, you guys can go to coin. If you want to know how to acronym it, they're all the coins on Coin Market Cap. Saying all these crypto, this is tongue twisting me, man. So the acronym to the coins that let's say Brandon said, hey, we're going to be trading on, I'm going to be buying PoonDX, and you guys make your decision, not listening to Brandon. You just happen to go, I like what Brandon says. I'm making my decision to follow Brandon and buy buy some PoonDX coin. And my computer is going slower than molasses, so do apologize. It's still thinking. So, there it goes. I think it caught up. Okay, so let's see here. So where's PoonDX?
You got to pull it in the search box.
I'm going to do that, but it's still thinking. I don't know why it's still loading. So let it do its thing. I'm just going to type it in. You guys can see Brandon do the Facebook Live enough. You guys can even type in the coin, I believe, and it'll still come up, PoonDX. Nope, you got to have the acronym. You got to have the acronym in that. All right, got to have the acronym. All right, so I'm just using any coin off the top of my head, and unfortunately, the coin I want is probably listed. Where is PoonDX? PoonDX is. Where are you at, PoonDX?
Well, they dropped from the top 100.
Yeah, it could have, but we were just looking at it. I don't think it did. Nope, it's right there. So PoonDX symbol. All the symbols that's how you acronym it. So PoonDX, it's P. You can copy paste that. Go back in here.
NPXS.
Yeah. Again, this is just showing you guys. So now I'm in the Bittrex tab, PoonDX, and these are all the pairs, which means I can trade. And you got to keep in mind, if you've got your Bitcoin you can only trade it. So, like, for instance, my money is on Bittrex. I've got whatever amount of money on Bittrex, and it's tied to my Coinigy account, and I want to trade this. I want to buy it, and my coin is in Bitcoin. Well, I can't, just because I'm in Bittrex and I got this coin, if it's in Bitcoin paired to this, and I want to buy the coin, if I want to move it over here, you're going to have to sell it into Bitcoin, into Ethereum, before you can then buy it back into this, or vice versa. Sell Bitcoin into USD, and from USD to this. Just because you got Bitcoin here doesn't mean you could trade your Bitcoin on the PoonDX coin with Ethereum, because you don't have Ethereum coinage. So if your Bitcoin is only in Bitcoin to PoonDX, this is again showing the pairs. So you have to have the money inside of that pair to buy that coin. So this, again, I'm just showing you guys that for reference. So making sure, like, again, whatever coin it is, doesn't matter what coin it is, it's just for example purposes only. Make sure you guys understand that once you find the coin you want to buy. Again, I use this. This is really good for day trading. If you're going to just buy and hold, and let's just be cutthroat to it. But if you're just buying and holding, which I'm not going to say most of you guys are going to do, you don't need Coinigy. You just go on the exchange directly. I mean, what needs to be said is what needs to be said. If you're going to day trade, I think Coinigy, to me, for the day trader is perfect. If you're just going to hold trade, you're wasting your time buying Coinigy. Brandon, that's actually logical.
That's right.
It's logical. Coinigy makes no sense for I'm not saying for most of you guys, but a lot of you guys, as you guys want to day trade, which I think a lot of people are wanting to learn that. That's great. But most of you guys that don't want to date or don't have the mental patience to day trade, then guess what? Coinigy is not for you. Everything I showed you is not for you because, again, why it's not for you, because you don't necessarily need, when you can go on the exchange directly, buy it, and walk away, because you're not, again, in a buy-hold method, you don't sit there and day trade. You don't sit there and try to do all the graphs that I'm showing you here. Let's go back to USD. You're not going to do, and I'll do this in our next training of this, but you're not going to do all the analytics and everything else that Brandon and I do and talk about. You're not going to do all that in a buy and hold method, because you're not trying to get 2% or 5% in a day. That probably won't happen in a lot of cases. Or even if it does, you can day trade off of these altcoins and make a lot of money. A lot of money. I will do that. I'm just not interested necessarily in for the most part right now, especially in this market, I just care about buying and holding, and only on the certain coins like Litecoin, US or Bitcoin, Litecoin, all the other big, maybe top 5 coins, I would do day trading on, because there's a lot of volume. It's going up and down. Brandon right now, he lost 3%, but he may get that back by the end of the day tonight. And because that's
that's why I'm not canceling that trade.
No, it's there's so much, but again, so in closing, because we're going over time here.
Well, answer this question, Jeris, because if we already have the exchanges set up, can we just log into the accounts on the Coinigy platform?
Wait, let me process with that. Okay, so say it again.
Well, let me answer that too, and then you can piggyback on what I may miss. So the question is, if you already have the exchanges set up, so someone's already got Coinigy, Bittrex, not Coinigy, yeah, they got Bittrex, Cryptopia, Poloniex. So then you set up a Coinigy account, then yeah, all you need to do is first, like Jeris showed, you've got to get that API key from those exchanges, plug it into Coinigy, and now you don't need to log into those exchanges anymore unless you need to put money on those exchanges. So you got to put money on those exchanges first. Then once that's done, you don't have to go back there. Everything can be done from Coinigy, and you could flip through, like Jeris showed on the left-hand side there. You can flip through your Bittrex, your Poloniex, your Binance, your Cryptopia without having to log back into those exchanges. Now, if you want more money in there, you do have to log into those exchanges. You can't add money into Coinigy onto those exchanges. You gotta go onto those exchanges and add money onto. But does that answer it, Diana? Let me know if there's more. Did I miss anything, Jeris?
No, you pretty much answered that. I mean, you pretty much broke that down. It makes total sense. I mean, you have if you already have those accounts, then you're 10 steps ahead of the person that doesn't have this stuff set up.
Albert just hopped on. Albert, make sure we did record this. You go back to the beginning, because we said a little something for you and your family as well. You know what you're going through. All right. Go ahead, Jeris, and if you want to wrap it up with any more questions.
I mean, I'm pretty much, because I think if I say any more, I mean, I just, we go into more subjects, and I don't want to do, we don't want to just stay in the plugging the pieces in. I'm not interested in really deviating people into getting more complicated with this right now. It's just not necessary. Again, Coinigy, if you're day trading, it's a good platform. If you're long hold trading, not a good platform. It's not really worth it. I mean, again, if you're doing both, great. I encourage you to get it as you guys get into this field. So it's not a necessary thing to have. But for the person that's really wanting to learn and get become a day trader, a micro trader, especially on the few coins that have the strongest value, like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, and a few other 5 of the 10 top 10 coins or 5 coins, and you're doing day trades on those coins because there's enough volume. this is great for you because you can use, which we'll go into next training, which you can use, tools like this. And I'll start the next training. I'll go into, the interface usability of it. So, but right now, again, I showed you today how to plug this all together. Like if you're going to use this, how to go in and plug it in, how to add your exchange, whatever. Here's really the barometer and what exchanges you can use is right here. When you go into the account, go to accounts, just as a quick refresher, accounts, add new exchange. And you just look at the exchange here, Binance, Bitfinex, Bitflyer. I mean, there's like 20 exchanges. I'm not going to count them all here in front of you guys, but there's like probably 20, 25 exchanges, I'm guessing, right here. That's really because if it's listed here, if it's not listed on that, that means that they can't connect. They can't interface. So that's really, I'm glad I actually highlighted that because some of you guys are going to find some weird quirky exchange and go, well, Jeris, Brandon, I can't connect it. and the reason why is because so again, these other exchanges that probably most of us have never heard about, probably never will hear about, because if there's 16,000 exchanges out there, there's probably a coin that you're only going to want to buy and hold anyways if it's only on that exchange, right, Brandon?
That's right.
Yeah, you're not going to want.
And this is a little bit for advanced people too. If you're trading on multiple exchanges.
I'm not focused and targeted. I'm trying to balance it. I'm not just trying to talk to one audience. But again, that's what I'm being candid with. The trading side of this is that Coinigy is great. It's a great interface for day traders. So if you're day trading only, or if you're day trading and buying and holding, great. If you're doing both, if you're just buying and holding and I don't want to do day trading like Brandon and Jeris, so I'm not interested in that. Well, then
you don't need Coinigy.
Yeah, you don't need Coinigy. You don't need to spend the $19 a month. It's not for you. It's not going to be the best suited $20. It would be good $20 spent, but it's still not worth it because you could just go directly to the exchange necessarily for the cost of the trade that you're going to put in, and whenever you're going to sell, which is going to still be worth it, buy the coins for cheap. 6 months, a year from now, when the coin market is extremely high, and you're like, oh my God, I spent $100 worth of coins, or about $500 worth of this 1 cent coin, and now it's $10, and I just made $100,000. Yeah, exactly. But again, that's a buy hold method. You don't sit there and day trade and sit in front of your computer screen again for that. So that hopefully I differentiated that factor again. Going over I just showed you guys again how to plug in those exchanges, the exchanges that you can plug in. Now next week again we'll go into what these functions are on the side, the tools, and how that all looks, how to utilize those tools and functions. That opens up another can of worms. And I like this too because inside of Coinigy, you do get real-time notifications like Brandon's crypto talks and stuff. You literally get notifications of what's going on in the market real time. So you can see, Coinbase will soon reward you for studying crypto. Ooh, see, look at that. That's great. That's news. So you get notification updates of news and things that are going on in the market while you're trading. With that being said, I think, Brandon, I'm on my end. If there's any questions, let's see if there's any questions before I wrap it up.
Well, you know what? I'll go ahead and close this out. And
Please
while
do.
I'm talking, if anyone has a question, we can interrupt that. Since this might be our last broadcast in this form, at least until after Christmas, we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays. Just so you know what's coming up from the company, this Friday, we don't have the time announced yet, but it'll probably be in the evening. We will be having a company-wide update call with Mike Boggs, where we're going to be discussing the updates that the company is getting from Green. And I hope everybody can still understand that KGX has no control over what is going on the inner workings of Green. We're just a wholesaler for them. So we don't know anything until they tell us. And we're not the only wholesaler. So nobody's getting secret information that the other doesn't have. So the company is supposed to be getting our update tomorrow, and then we're going to update the entire company on Friday, as well as the projects that is being wound up going into January 2019. I have absolutely no doubt that we are positioned to be the dominant crypto company in the United States in 2019. It's going to happen one way or another. How fast it happens depends on all of us. It depends on our ability to step up as leaders, our ability to be able to lead the path and not wait on anybody else, on any instructions, on anyone else to do anything. We go out there and we just do it with what we have, and then we take on all the new things that's added. This is our year coming up. We've survived where other companies have failed. We're legal. We're still here. We have a viable product. Company has never missed the commission payment. There is nothing else better out there right now. Now, at the end of the year, I always do this as well, because even though I do my New Year's resolution in October 1st, because I prepare, most people don't. They wait till the end of the year. So I'm going to be doing my annual The Secret call at the end of the year to get everybody prepared for 2019. I only do this once a year. Those of you that don't know me, my background is in personal development and self-improvement. And I don't talk on that as much as I used to, as much as I should, because I've moved beyond, the MLM direct selling space into more investors where things are in my own control. But it is necessary, because once you understand this, you will have success and be able to navigate in anything that you do. It's just learning a certain skill set. So I will be having my once a year, The Secret call at the end of the year. And we'll see what happens after Christmas and what new developments take place. But we will definitely, even if it's not coming from corporate, it's going to come from the leadership. We're going to have one last big call with myself, Diana, Jeris, Rob, our leaders. We got Chris Hanks, and we are going to have everybody prepared on what our strategies, what our goals are going into 2019 that you can choose to be a part of or not. If you choose not, that's okay. That's your prerogative. I'll just go find somebody else. I'm also here to help hundreds of people become millionaires, and then they grow to thousands. It's just a matter of who's going to be here when it does. Who's going to help make it happen? Who's ride or die? Who's going to be in a trend? Having to build a team. By learning these skills, you now take your destiny in your own hands. And that's why plugging in to the things that we have going on, like these talks, I love it when people say, Brandon, I haven't heard from you in months. Can you give me an update? I'm like, what are you talking about? I speak at least 3 hours a day. I'm broadcasting. Nobody should say they're not getting info from me. Right? So all you have to do is plug in. I may not be able to just call you and hold your hand one-on-one like you may want, but there's nobody can ever say they're not getting the information. Just plug in. Just plug in, and when we meet the leaders out there to lead the way, who's it going to be? And if not you, that's okay. We will find somebody else, because I'm committed. It's going to happen. And I'm excited about this year. And I also want to say, and on behalf of all of our leaders, we appreciate all of you. We're grateful for the position that we're in. We're thankful for what we have and the opportunity that's presented in front of us. No matter what's going on in your life, it is a temporary solution. We said some nice words for Albert. Albert, you want to go back to the beginning and you can hear that. But we know everybody's going through something at this stage. Yeah. Me and Jeris had we had our heart-to-heart talk last week, and we looked around and said, you know what?
Everybody's hurt.
Everybody.
You know what, Brandon?
Everybody's going through something.
Brandon,
yeah.
There's a famine. I mean, you know what? This is real. This is being real talk to everybody. There is a economical famine going around. I mean, it's hit the land, and I don't see anything. I mean, but there's a lot of, there's a light at the end of the tunnel through this. I think all of us, if we were all in front of us in person, you guys, we'd all shake our heads and go, dang, Jeris, you're right. Brandon, he just hit it. There's an economical famine going on, meaning you don't see a lot of activity. There's industries that are doing really well in this industry in downtimes, but as a whole, I've seen a lot of industries right now, a lot of people that were doing well, including myself, not doing as well. Like, I'm just can't, because let's take, I'm in the crypto space, the crypto markets, since I got in it, are down. I lost a lot of money. You guys know the story, but I don't see it as I'm actually kind of glad it's happened even to myself, because now I know that we're at the beginning of this market. And I want you to expand on this, Brandon, really quickly, but what me losing with the market the way it is, and most of us, a lot of us that have been in the market for 2, 3, 5 years, lost or gained, we now can see we just cracked another echelon level. Now I'm speaking directly in the crypto space. Brandon goes to these events. I'll be going with him a lot more next year. But we know that technology is going nowhere. It's going to be here to stay. We know that the cryptocurrency market, if it doesn't go up, here's the reality, guys. If Bitcoin doesn't shoot to 100,000, that's why you don't hear me personally say, guys, I used to say that. I think it's going to be at 25. I have no clue what Bitcoin is going to be 6 months from now. I'm believing in positivity that the market's going to go up, but that doesn't stop me from buying coins now, because I know the coins have already hit certain milestones, and now I know what the forces behind it are trying to do to keep it down and simulate it to keep down only for gain. And I'm trying to now do on my small way of buying as much coins. So here's a benefit, and Brandon will teach this in the mindset thing. In the next 6 months, a year, 2 years, I believe this year, if not 3, 4 months, 6 months from now, the market will be at a better place. If it's not, I'm still okay, because that gives me a chance to buy as much coins at a low as possible. So you're learning this stuff, guys, at an amazing time. And I can tell you guys this, we got so much ahead of us. We got years of prosperity ahead of us, and the tools that Brandon and I, Diana, and many of us who are going through this, you guys are going through this with us. We have a lot in front of us, and the hard times are what make us great. You actually need those hard times because they define who you are as a leader. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, actually, since you brought up prosperity, I want to bring up Miss Diana Townsend herself. So, Diana, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, Brandon, can you hear me okay?
Yep, all good. Go right ahead.
Okay, I wanted to know, well, really it's to Jeris. Jeris, I wanted to know, is it possible that you can do a video, like a quick video that tells us the do's and the don'ts of Coinigy, that just focuses on the content, that tells us what you just said? Like, if you want to add money to the exchange, you need to do that before it comes over to the Coinigy platform. Give us an idea about the fees. I want to know what the benefits are to this platform. So I like the details behind it. Like you said, this is not a platform if you want to hodl. This is a platform if you want to day trade. So those are the things that I'm looking forward to, because then that helps us make a decision on whether or not you want to use this platform. You said it's $19 a month. That's relevant. We need to know that too. So if you could kind of tell us, and make sure you don't do this, and make sure you do that. You need that API key. You can just log in and do that, and then you don't have to go back over there unless you want to add money over there. Like, I'm looking for the details so that I can make an educated decision whether that is something I want to do. You said, we're getting news over here. I think you said you get information and about, you get details. So I just wanted to know if we could do something where we just do a quick little detail so we can make a decision whether or not this is a platform that really works for us. Because whether I want to day trade or whether I want to hodl, you said it doesn't make sense to pay the $19, but what if I'm getting some news? What if I like the convenience of it? If I knew more about the platform, I would be able to, really decide, is this something that I want to do? So I wanted to see if you could shoot us a quick video and upload it to the page, or do a live that just tells us why you should use Coinigy.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Diana?
No, I'm good.
All right. And at the end of the day, I have a homework assignment for everybody. So I want you to, well, I'll start this way. How did me and Jeris learn this? There wasn't lives like this. There wasn't leadership we can call. There wasn't anybody to hold our hand. We both saw one video, and then we went to the site and we signed up and we stumbled and fumbled through it and we figured it out. But here's the point. All of this that we're teaching is great, but it means nothing if you don't apply. That's why I highlight Bethany and her husband. They've been applying this and they've been having some great results. Lorna, well, I forgot how much Lorna did, 8% the other day or something, or she turned $60 into $300 or something. I forgot. But you got to get out there and then actually do it. So your homework assignment is make sure you have created your accounts with at least Binance, Bittrex, Poloniex, and Cryptopia. At least. Have those accounts set up. Choose one, whichever one you feel is your favorite. Jeris learned more on Bittrex, where I learned more on Poloniex. I prefer Poloniex just because that's what I'm used to. I know how to use Bittrex. I know how to use Binance. It's just what I prefer. Some of you guys are in states where not all the exchanges are accepted. Like in Washington, they can't use Poloniex. So get your exchange set up. Move money from your Bitcoin wallet into one of the exchanges. I don't care how much, and execute a buy. I'm sorry, well, it's already buy a sell order, a buy and a sell order again. Execute something. And next time we all get back together, it's going to be a time where we hear about your results. I want to hear from all of you saying, you know what, Brandon, last time we talked, you told us to do this homework. I moved money onto the exchange. I completed a buy-sell transaction, and I made this percentage, or I lost this percentage. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose. It's the act of you actually doing it that gets your foot in the water. It's like teaching somebody how to swim. In my day, they just tossed our little butts into the water. These kids today, they kind of hodl them a little bit, want to hold their hand a bit. But you got to just jump into the deep end and start splashing around, and then you're gonna get the hang of it. These things, what we're saying, is gonna make sense. And then here's the magical thing that's gonna start to happen. You're gonna start listening to my crypto talks again, and it's like you're gonna be hearing it with new eyes. It's like you're hearing something that was foreign language that now is starting to make sense. Like, whoa, I understand that now. Then you're gonna go back and listen to some of the old ones that you didn't really fully understand what was going on. And you go, whoa, I understand that now. But you got to get in the game and in the practice. And then we're going to start having you doing it live, right there on the spot, trading with us live. We can share screen with everybody. We'll even have it with some of you that are, you're a little bit scared. Okay, we'll give you control. We'll share screen and show us while you're about to do the trade, and we can give you some, walk you through it at the same time as if we're sitting in front of your computer screen with you. So that's all that's coming. Great things coming for next year. I look forward to it. And that's all I had to share. See, Lynette says, I've made $170 on the exchange in the last 5 days. I need to know how to calculate the percentage. Okay, that's a great question. I use, hey, Jeris, do you use a certain program or anything to calculate profit or loss?
I know you use.
Because I do. Because I still use iCoin Pro.
Yeah, I know you use iCoin Pro. Honestly, I just calculated for I use not Coinigy, but what you guys are still probably seeing my screen share.
Yeah. So
I'm using, when I put my sell order in, again, this is not helpful, but I'm using a percentage here. Like, you can't, this goes into the training, would be next week or whenever we do this training again, and that's the next segment of it. But I put in my sell order, okay, I made this, and then it calculates it. How many, I get a record, I have a record of how much I traded for the week. And so, I can calculate that out. I did 20 trades or 10 trades at 5% each. So again, I just manually use what I do to trade from this percentage wise, what I do in a week, and I calculate that. So I mean, that might not be too helpful, but it's kind of really manual for the most part.
Well, yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start searching out there for some free software that allows you to do profit loss margin calculations. And if any of you guys know of any, type it in here. Let us know. I use iCoin Pro because I've been paying for it since the beginning, and I don't want to promote them. So I will look for another source. If I cannot find another source, and if people want that type of source, then they can come to me and we can talk about how to use their system to do profit loss and tracking. But I'm sure there's stuff out there that allows you that you can plug in some numbers, spreadsheets and whatnot. But definitely keep track. And another thing you can do as well, every time you execute a trade, the exchange is recording it, all of it. So you can go back and you can see the difference. Like, wow, I bought at 35.32. I sold at 37.28. What's the difference? And then you know what your percentage is manually. But there's an automated way. We'll find it out there. All right, that's it, everybody. We've gone for an hour and a half tonight. And I hope you guys learned something new. As always, that is the point. And at the end of the day, the most important risk is the one at the end of your own wrist. I'm sorry. The most important hand is the one at the end of your own wrist. Use it. Have a great day, everybody. I will be back tomorrow morning for early morning crypto talk for Thursday morning. And then we have our KGX presentation. It will be the last one before Christmas tomorrow night. So take full advantage of it by inviting guests right here, kgxglobal.info, tomorrow night. All right, everybody. Have a great evening. See you all next time. Thank you, Jeris Coleman. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.